All right, brain science to the rescue here. I'm going to show you a simple 4-step process to learn any gun skill faster and more efficiently. Check this out. Hey, what's up, Warriors? It is Jeff Anderson from WarriorLife.com. And okay, this is a pretty cool little trick I got actually out of an old TEDx talk. It wasn't really about guns, but still applies. So without getting too scientific-y on you here, in order for us to learn anything physical, any physical skill, our brains send the information it processes down through the body to your muscles through a chain of nerve fibers called axons. And these axons are covered in this fatty substance called myelin, which is similar to the insulation around electrical wires. And it works kind of the same way because that myelin sheath prevents the electrical signals from the brain from escaping through those axon nerve fibers all over the place. Now, new studies show that the more you repeat a process, the myelin sheaths actually get bigger and bigger over time. And they do a pretty good job of holding in those nerve signals, basically creating like a super highway of information from your brain to your muscles. This is what a lot of athletes and shooters call muscle memory. Your muscles don't really have a memory, right? So now, while doing something 10,000 times will build up these neural super pathways to the point where you can do them lightning fast, blindfolded. New science suggests that there's a better way by making your training consistent, intensely focused, and just at the edge of your current abilities. So let me explain how you can do this in just 4 simple steps. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to create a focused environment. So in other words, free from distractions. That means silence your phone, turn off music, and even the other shooters at the range are going to throw you off a little bit, which is why I find it best to create a dedicated space at home that you can learn in using dry fire. Now, in my house, I have a tactical fun house dry fire range, I call it, and you can do it in as little as like the space of a closet, literally. The next thing you want to do is you want to train in slow motion. Now, I know this is what a lot of people, they get hung up on this because they think that they just keep going it fast, like that's going to bring them more speed. It's actually the opposite. But here's what's really interesting. It doesn't even matter if the repetitions that you're doing are correct or incorrect when you get started. It's the motion itself that builds up those myelin sheaths. And over time, if your brain knows the right technique, if you know how to do it right, you'll gradually hone in on doing that technique the right way at the slow motion. And then you increase speed as you get that technique down consistently at that slower speed. Or the third thing is, don't start off by leapfrogging skill sets. So let's say that you're trying to learn how to clear a malfunction, for example. Well, there are 4 primary types of malfunctions that can happen. So don't try to learn them all at the same time. Practice clearing only one jam at a time. Now, there is one exception to this rule, and I'll tell you about that here in just a minute. But the last step is this. Break your training up into shorter, more frequent sessions. Now, this has been shown to build those myelin sheaths faster. So doing just 5 minutes of training a few times a day is going to give you better, faster results than longer training sessions or longer shooting sessions down at the live fire range. And it makes it more manageable to fit your training into a busy schedule. Okay, so this process is going to help you develop those individual skills that you need to use your gun effectively. And it's going to help you do it faster. But they're still being done in a controlled environment. You and I both know that a real gunfight is anything but controlled. And you may have to employ several skills in order to save your life, right? So this is why training over and over again down at the gun range with stationary, repetitive shooting at a static paper target doesn't effectively train you for the pucker factor 1000 moment when you're suddenly ambushed out of nowhere in a dark parking lot. But new science to the rescue again here, because there's actually a way you can train these skill sets together in order to recreate the chaos of a real attack. But it has to be done in a very systematic way. So if you want, down in the video notes here, I'm going to put a link where you can watch the free masterclass that we did on this topic that shows it all step by step using real gunfights. But for now, just make sure that you're adjusting your training using the 4 tips that I just gave you, and be sure to report back here in the comments section on what your experience was. And if you like this video and you want more, just go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and click on the little bell there so that you get a notification when we put out our next lesson next week. And until our next video, this is Jeff Anderson saying prepare, train, and survive.